Hey guys, I've had a road bike on order for several months and it finally came in and I put about 100 miles on it so far, so here's my quick review. This is the Ribble Ultra SL R. It ships direct from the UK. This is my first full carbon bike and it checks a lot of boxes with a lot of features, significantly cheaper than anything else that you would find comparable to this in stores. I went with 11-speed Ultegra, just regular mechanical shifting. I personally don't like electronic shifting. I don't think it's worth the price and the hassle of having to mess with charging. You'll notice I have this rotor Vegas chain set. This is something Ripple contacted and offered to upgrade me to because they aren't able to fully source all the Ultegra components until after Thanksgiving. I've been really happy with this chain set so far, although I am used to a 5336 up front and this is a 5034, so I find myself close to spinning out on descents, but it's definitely easier to stay seated on the climbs, so we'll call it a trade-off. This setup is a fairly average weight. It comes in a little over 19 pounds, but it is definitely aero. The most noticeable feature on this bike are the super aero handlebars. They don't need grip tape. They actually have this special grippy paint coated on the outside, and they appear to be solid from what I can tell. And I will say, if you're putting this together yourself, the instructions included are several years old, so it's kind of frustrating they don't tell you what spacers to use. I couldn't find any documentation anywhere for putting these new handlebars together, so it was kind of frustrating trying to figure out how to get my stem spaced correctly. I had to call my buddy at a bike store to get some help, so just be aware. One major thing I did not see mentioned anywhere else as well is the limited turning radius of this bike. With all the tight tolerances, you can see how you're limited by the fork, by how far you can steer before it hits itself. Here's a comparison to a regular bike. Anyway, I'll wrap up by saying one final surprise I encountered was just how expensive import fees are on bikes right now. While I paid just under 5 grand for this setup, the DHL fees were $535. I guess that's funny or sad depending how you look at it, but it's still technically cheaper than buying something in the store. Just be aware you're going to get hit with that hefty import fee before they'll technically deliver it. Everything said and done, I still feel this is currently the best aero bike for the money and should be my main bike for several years to come. Thanks for watching.